Hello there, my name is Fred Foch and I'm going to be your guide for coding the sounds of music. Let's take a look at the learning outcomes for coding the sounds of music. We're going to write a song named Twinkle in Python and play it on the TI Innovator Hub. We will read the notes for Twinkle from sheet music and write them as Python code. We're going to learn the science behind sound waves, how speakers and microphones work, and also explore the wonderful phenomenon of human hearing. Lastly, we'll be applying many different computer science concepts as we write our programs. So let's move on to how we hook the calculator up and get started writing Python code. I'm going to be using two views while we go through these mini videos for coding the sounds of music. One is this real-time view here where I have a camera and I can show you how to actually manipulate your TI Nspire CX2 calculator in the TI Innovator Hub. And the other view is over here. This is a virtual emulator that I'll be using to show you how to code. I will oftentimes expand this view over here so that it fills up all this space so you can see my screen and code better. First things first, let's get all of our equipment out. I have my TI Nspire CX2 calculator, the TI Innovator Hub, and the unit-to-unit cable for connecting the two. Let's first turn our calculator on. The on key is just right here. I'm going to press that and it'll turn on the calculator. Next, I need to load the file that's called Coding the Sounds of Music. I'm going to do that over here in the emulator. You can see this better on the video. To navigate the calculator, I'm going to be using this big central click pad here. Notice, and you try this with me, press the click pad to the right, to the left, up and down, and you can see that it navigates these menus. Now, sometimes it's easier to navigate the menus just by choosing the number adjacent to it. I'm going to do that now just by pressing the 2, and you do the same with me. Press the number 2, and this will take you into a list of all the files that are stored on your calculator. I can use the click pad to navigate up the list or down the list. You snip around until you find the Coding the Sounds of Music file. Once you do that, press the Enter key to load it. Now that you have that file loaded, we're ready to connect the calculator to the Innovator and do some music coding. To do this, I first am going to take my unit-to-unit cable and I'm going to look at it carefully, and I'm going to notice that there is an end that's labeled A, and there's also an end that's labeled B. I'm going to first take the end labeled B and I'm going to plug it into the hub. I'm going to look at the hub and I find that there's all sorts of ports on here. Some are for connecting sensors like temperature sensors, and others are for connecting outputs like motors. What I'm interested in, though, is this data port. But before I plug this in, let's take a quick look at the back of the Innovator. And here where it says sound, I notice that this is actually a little speaker that's built into the Innovator. Do you see that shiny silver metal down in there? That's the speaker. And the holes that are in the case, well, that lets the sound out. We're going to talk more about speakers and sound and how it's made later. But for right now, let's plug in our calculator to our hub and get started coding. So I'm going to take my B end and plug it into the hub. And then I'm going to take the A end and I'll plug it into the USB port on the top of the calculator. Notice as I do this that some lights flash on in the hub. So I'll plug this in. And when I do that, this orange light flashes on. That tells me that my calculator and hub are all connected and good to go. So now I'm ready to go to the next step because I have the Coding the Sounds of Music file open. I have the unit-to-unit cable connected to the hub, and the hub booted and is now working because of that green light right there. At this time, I want you to pause the video and you connect up your setup like I have mine. And when you're all ready, resume the video and we'll get started. Now that you have everything set up, let's move to the next page. To do this, we need to navigate the pages of the TNS. You can keep track of which page of the TNS you are on by looking at this tab up at the top. Notice that mine shows 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Those are different pages in the TNS. To navigate among those pages, we'll use the click pad. To move to the right, press the Control key and then the click pad to the right. Here we see some instructions that pertain to the activity on the following page, 1.3. It says that there are 3 songs that are written in Python and played on the hub. And this is a little game of can you name that tune? This will give you an opportunity to hear what music written in Python and played on the Innovator sounds like. Ultimately, by the end, you will write Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in Python on yours. Let's move to the next page. Control, click pad to the right. And here is an activity that you can do on your own to play 3 songs. And I want you to keep track of the names of those songs in your head as you listen to them. And later on, see if you can name those tunes. If we read the instructions, it says we need to run the program named Name That Tune. To do that, we can use either the menu selection or a shortcut combination of Control and R. I'm going to use the menu first. So I'll go to the menu key on the upper right of the calculator. I'll choose option 2 and then option 1. And this runs the program. In the program now, it asks you to press the Enter key, that's this big Enter key, and try to name that tune. So I'm going to press Enter and we can listen to a little bit of this, but then I'm going to stop the video and you pause your video while you're running the simulation. And when you're all finished running this simulation, this activity that we're doing on the calculator, and you think you know the names of the 3 tunes, then go ahead and resume the video. So let's listen to this first tune. Well, that was fun to hear what music sounds like on the hub. Can you name those 3 tunes? I bet you can get that first one, Jingle Bells. The next one is an old sports fan favorite, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And the third one, for you classic music lovers, that was Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, Ode to Joy, the final movement. And maybe you also recognized another Beethoven classic at the introduction to this video, one of my favorites, Für Elise. Well, This concludes this activity and this video. Now, we're all set to move to the next video and actually begin coding the sounds of music. I'll see you there.